just watch the way Green Bay is getting started here. They're really crisp. There it is. You know, like they do in wrestling. Boom! There it is. Boom! Right there. That's a wham block. There it is. Throw me the
money! Morning, everybody. Time to wake and rake, win together on a wild card, super wild card weekend. I almost fucked up the branding. They spent a lot of money to call it that. Browns, Dolphins, sorry. But, I mean, we saw that coming, right? We got Elio here. We got Ari here. Chris is over there shoveling coal, pulling levers, keeping us on the internet. I mean, look at all these sites we're streaming to. This is big-time stuff. Elio, how you doing?
Good, my brother. Good, man. Good, man. Yes. Super wild card weekend from my book went as I expected. And I mean, I first of all, I never expected the Dolphins to win, even if they went to Kansas City in good weather. All right, 45-degree weather. And the Dolphins, man, I'm a big CJ Stroud fan. I've been preaching his praises all year long. And give me the better quarterback. No disrespect to Flacco, who did a pretty good job getting this team to the playoffs. But man, that CJ Stroud is built different, buddy. Generational talent.
Different. Ari, we called it. You said you loved the Chiefs.
I did
yesterday.
Yep. I said I love the Texans. I mean, I didn't really have a big play in the Texans game, but I did say my best bet of the weekend was the Chiefs. And watching that win yesterday, watching 3 out of 4 of my props hit yesterday, it's been a great weekend so far. So I just want to keep the winning going.
Yep. From the beginning of the game, they were giving Pacheco the ball. I'm like, see, Ari was right.
Oh yeah, that was great. And then Flacco, I watched that game just to watch my prop hit there.
Yep.
But of course, you can't bet against Mahomes, especially in a playoff game like this. So the under, it didn't go under, but hey, the rest of them did. 3 out of 4 hits. So that was a good day for props for me and for the Chiefs win, which was absolutely my best bet of the weekend.
Yep. Meatloaf said 3 out of 4 ain't bad. I think.
Hey,
I don't know.
It's true.
I'm not old enough to know. But boy, that game was cold. Holy shit. We got about -7 here, and it's pretty bad. Like you walk outside, the inside of your nose immediately freezes. You want to sneeze, but you're too cold to really move. And it was -20 something last night. You could see every breath everybody took. No thanks.
Dude, I was cold, all right, and I'm like 3,000 miles away. You know what I mean, man? I felt cold watching Andy Reid's boogers or his snout freaking freeze over his his mustache. I mean, that dude had a freaking glazier, all right, on his freaking mustache. It was insane. I never seen anything like that before. That was like 1,000 times worse than the frostbite game, all right, with the Packers and the Giants when what's his name, Coughlin. I thought he was
Tom Coughlin cheeks game.
Oh my gosh, I thought he was like, he was Santa Claus without the beard. You know what I mean? It was insane. I've never seen anything like that in my life.
I just thought it was so crazy how the helmet broke. Mahomes' helmet broke.
Yeah,
and they ran another play.
So cold.
What if he takes a hit and gets a concussion on that one play that they let him run with a busted helmet?
Dude, a concussion.
I don't know if it was just like out of respect, like, all right, he needs to run this. They got momentum going here. We can't stop. Like, you got to stop play as soon as you see a chunk fly off of a helmet. I've never seen that.
I've never seen that happen before. I mean, these things are supposed to be so sturdy, but I think the cold and the impact.
Yeah,
but I think the cold really might have had a play here.
Yeah, I wasn't good at science in school, but I know when something freezes, easy to, it's a whole lot easier to break if you with extreme force. You know what I'm saying, dude? I mean,
yeah, helmets, bones, skin, everything hurts more when it's
wild,
cold.
Man.
We were talking in the text, me and Chris and Cricket and Will last night. Like, you probably have to shut it down for a day or two and just drink chicken soup and Gatorade now in an 80-degree room. Get yourself back to normal before you can even think about playing another football game.
That's wild, man. That's wild. I mean, what about what about the Pittsburgh and Buffalo game? They have to move that. Did you see the blizzard that was going on in that stadium yesterday? Oh my God. It's like watching the movie. What was the movie in Alaska with Kirk Russell?
The Thing?
The Thing, bro. It looked like that. You know what I'm saying? Like they're looking for the thing. You know what I'm saying? And all that.
I didn't know it was a football field till they panned over to the goalpost. I'm like, oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, you looked at it. You didn't know it was going.
A polar bear.
I only saw it earlier in the day and it didn't look too bad, but
no, they show it like in the middle of the fucking thing. It was crazy.
It was total whiteout conditions. That's
crazy.
I'm all for playing in the weather, but I'm glad they moved it now that I saw the footage from yesterday.
I don't think if you're watching it on TV, you would not know what the fuck's going on. You know what I mean? Like you can't see the lines. You won't be able to do anything like that. I mean, I'm okay with that too. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. Back in 1925, they would never move that game, but hey, it's a different era.
Ari, Houston Texans at Baltimore Ravens. What do you think the line is on that game?
What do I think the line is on that game?
Yeah. Is that not where they go?
What do you mean?
Do the Texans now go play the Ravens?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but is Ari a line guesser, or does she just look at the line?
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
You're right.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't really do the.
I'm asking. Yeah.
I don't really do the fantasy stuff, like as you guys know.
Hey, don't be surprised. Look, let's take a stab at it. They'll probably put it like they want people to bet this game, so they probably do like -6, start it off or some shit like that.
I think the Texans. I mean, they're one of those teams of destiny now. They got the good vibes going. I think they could beat anybody on the right day. But let's talk about these teams today.
Let's go.
Click on NFL. Get out of these weird international basketball games. Green Bay Packers at Dallas Cowboys. 3:30 in the Central. Now it's down to Cowboys -7. It was 7.5 yesterday. I think we can win this game, Chris. I think we can.
Already won it. We just have to show up and go through the motions. The win happened last night at about 3 o'clock. Well, probably about midnight, 1 o'clock, maybe this morning. I already kind of watched it happen.
Oh,
Patriot 4165. I apologize. It's another first round exit. You're used to it.
It is going to be rough.
Make sure you get a legit meat tray because you don't want to take this L without like a really good meat and cheese tray.
Yep.
I love you. If you need support, call us. We're here for you. Go, Pat, go.
Yep. It's going to be a rough one. I mean, to lose to this ragtag group of Patriots hiding behind trees, it's going to be rough for the old Dallas Redcoats. Elio, how do you see this game going?
Look, there's nobody in this room that wants Dallas to lose in the first round more than I do, right?
Yeah, Elio.
But I'm not betting on the Packers. However, I mean, look, as a Giants fan, look, you see that up there? There's two teams in this first round I want eliminated as bad because you played all the season for nothing. You're sitting back home just like we are, them and the Eagles. But shit, man, there's a year that Dallas. I don't question their offense or everything they're doing, at least for the first round.
Defense.
The other defense is probably this season. Every year I'm like, those fuckers are overrated. They're going to lose in the first round. But I don't know, man. It's hard, man. I mean, it's a good story for the Packers. Jordan Love probably had as good as a season or even better than Aaron Rodgers' first year starting. Had more touchdowns, less interceptions, more yardage, better record, made it to the playoffs. Great story, young team, run with that. But I think Dallas takes this. But I want the Packers to win, just to be clear. All right.
We're in a Back It Up Binge podcast.
Hey, what was the story behind this?
What's up, big dog?
What was the story behind this? Was this over that we bet on the first year of the podcast?
When we first started the podcast, the Orioles win total was 60.5 or 59.5, and Coach was adamant that they were a good baseball team. And I think Coach bought that hat. And then they won, 100 games?
Yeah, we made money on that bet. We bet that future. That was right. He was like, there's no way they win less than 80 games. They had him in the 50s, I believe.
The Orioles. Yeah, I remember that season.
Yeah,
I think they didn't make the playoffs either.
Farrell making great points. Dallas loses on a missed field goal. That would be the best.
Oh, please, God, watch Mike McCarthy walk out there. Go take the fucking walk of shame, Mike, for somebody else.
Tell you what, if this game is close in the second half, he's going to start being afraid to throw it deep. He's going to start playing conservative. Plays right into our hands.
I mean,
this game's pretty interesting because traditionally the Packers have done really well at the Dallas Stadium. I mean, they're currently 4-0 at the Cowboys Stadium, and this is just a trend.
It's
and
4-0 good, Ari?
Yeah. This is a trend, and I don't typically bet trends, but I mean, there is evidence here to say that the Packers do really well at the stadium.
You feel +7 is a good number maybe to go with the Packers, even if they lose, or what? Or is it going to be a bigger?
I mean, I feel like Las Vegas is balancing the books. The game opened
Mhm.
early at -7.5, and
Mhm.
been sitting at -7 this whole time.
Yep.
There's a lot of sharp and square money all over the place. I think right now Las Vegas is saying these lines are tight because they're not moving anywhere. They're not moving in any particular direction. I think that Vegas thinks that the lines are very tight here. They're trying to balance it, and they're. I think really the play on this game is an overplay.
That's my next question. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
50 and a half, right? Still 50 and a half, I think.
I got 51 on an
Um,
offshore.
Yeah. I got 50 and a half, 51, depending on the books you're looking at. I mean, yeah, I see
yeah,
it too.
50
It's a
and a
lot of,
half.
yeah.
So
I
it's
mean,
at
it opened
27-24.
It opened early at 47.5 in
Mhm.
a local headline. It quickly adjusted to 49. Now it's at 50.5. It's moving with the sharp money. A lot of money has come in. It was originally at level 5, and on my grading scale of 1 to 5, of 5 being the most significant amount of money, it started off at level 5 money at 50.5, and it's kind of dwindled down to level 3 money, but it's still significant in my book. And especially with the big initial jump where Vegas moved the line from 47.5 to 49, I think that means that Vegas is going to think that this game is going over here in this spot.
Ari, once again, thank you for answering the question I was going to ask you. What L5 meant in your emails? I meant it meant level 5. So I was estimating that level 5 is the highest. You know what I'm saying? Instead of level 1. I'm kind of stupid like that sometimes reading, but thank you.
Oh yeah, I might have forgotten to put in the key that day, but the
That
key
was awesome.
also is to help like clarify how I rank everything, and also to show like in my emails like where the sharp money is at, where the Joe money's at, and how Vegas is reacting. And I loved hearing your review yesterday, Chris, on how you're learning how I'm making my analysis just by
Well, because
watching my emails.
Awesome.
I
Me too.
pulled some of that. I pulled that out and just applied to other sports.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. You can apply this to other sports.
To
But
the
for me personally,
African Championship soccer tournament. In fact, and we're 3-0 right now.
Holy
We
shit.
have Ivory
Oh.
Coast playing today.
Nice. I mean, I found for me personally, when I really focus in on just a couple of sports or really even one sport in particular, then my ROI goes through the roof.
Did you
Like,
just say the African soccer championship is you're betting
Yeah,
on that?
something about the
I mean,
Ivory
who the
Coast.
hell? If you ever tell me, right, a dude from Wisconsin in the middle of nowhere, 7-degree weather, betting on African soccer. Oh my gosh, dude! Look, if I wasn't a degenerate like you, I would tell you to seek help. But fuck it.
Hashtag DGen Army.
I'm like, holy crap, dude! That's. Oh man, this is a great world, bro.
Yeah,
Hey, bro.
what a time to be
Yeah,
alive.
We have a mix of it.
This is a
But
great world.
sorry, what were you, Ari? What were you?
Sorry,
where
Ari.
were you going with that? No, you're good.
oh, I was just saying my ROI has like increased so much just in college basketball and in the NBA since there's been so few football games, and I've really been able to just focus in on a few more sports. So for me personally, doing too much like applying my and analytics to different sports and a whole range of them, for me it's better to just focus in on a few in particular and really analyze those, because in the past week I've have over a 50% ROI in college basketball.
Is that good?
Crushing it.
That's actually really good. That's unbelievably
That's
good.
quite good.
That's
a
unbelievable.
fucking
Yeah.
Next year for Wake and Rake here, we may like split the divisions up amongst each other so we can really dive in on and have just our division that we work on. We'll see.
That would be
We'll have
cool.
a meeting. We'll figure it out. But I like that idea of just doing a few.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, the divide and conquer strategy.
That's how we get the African soccer championship tournament and the whatever Eastern European hockey tournament Eric's betting on.
holy shit.
Just
Yeah,
name it.
the international hockey, they really aren't. These books aren't very sharp on. They're not paying much attention. You can pretty much look at the standings and see that one team is much better than the other.
That's because they still use bookies, man. All right, you know the real money's in the streets, not online.
Yeah.
All right, it's This is the only country that's legalized this shit. Everybody else, you know what I mean? It's they have it legal, but you want to go to I don't know, whatever mob or triad name the bookie has in Eastern Europe,
Let's break this game down, Pack in Dallas.
Yeah.
We can break it down by the numbers, and Ari is going to tell us not to bet it or bet the over, but stay away from the game itself. But break it down, Elio, Eric. How do you think this game goes from a football perspective?
You want to start, Eric, or you want me to take this quick shot at it?
I'm digging through props, so you could start.
Honestly, look, if we go based on the trends, the way this game should go, and it's not the way that I think the Packers wanted to go, is just like what Dallas does every week, especially in the last 5 games. Hit CeeDee Lamb, quick score. That's how you start. If you know, CeeDee Lamb has had one of the best wide receiver season this year. Nobody has said shit about CeeDee Lamb. Everybody's been talking about Tyreek. Everybody's been talking about everybody else. CeeDee Lamb has a triple crown this year. First in touchdowns, tied for first in receptions, or I think tied for first in touchdowns. But he's in first in every single thing. And nobody has said anything about this guy. He's gone under the radar. I don't know how, because he is one of the best wide receivers in football. But I think CeeDee Lamb has a huge game. Dallas wins. I think they're going to go play action again. They're going to get Ferguson involved in the red zone. It's going to be the same thing. One thing about Dallas, they don't have anything secretly. They're not going to run any different plays. It's going to be the same thing. And if the Packers don't stop this early on and they fall from behind, that's where the Packers will get in trouble, because that defense plays really well when they're ahead.
I think that first quarter is critical. You can't let Dallas score on that first drive and get the momentum going. But if you can make McCarthy start running the ball a little too much and playing conservative, because I think we're going to break out a trick play or two. There will be a double reverse or something, because they got absolutely nothing to lose. No. Jordan Love rushing yards is at 10.5. He hasn't been running the ball lately, but I feel like this is a game where he would. Packers total touchdowns is 2.5. But both teams score 19.5. One of my favorite props is -126. You'd have to really get 3 touchdowns to get over 19.5. I think I like over 2.5 touchdowns. But I'm really optimistic. I'm obviously very jaded. Ari, what are the pros doing? The smart people.
Well, I absolutely love the over here, but I also think the interesting props in this game would be Prescott over 1.5 touchdowns, and Ferguson over 4.5 receptions.
Yeah, I love Ferguson.
Yeah, now after going 3 for 4 in my props yesterday, I hope for an even better day today.
I mean, it can't get much better than 3 for 4.
Listen,
you only have one more rung of the ladder to climb.
You're getting even money on over 4.5 receptions too, plus 100.
Are you really?
Bad.
Dude,
we
Ferguson
bet that.
Ferguson was their second leading receiver. So that is a great prop, actually, Ari. He was their second leading receiver. It wasn't Brandon Cooks. It wasn't Gallup. It wasn't anybody else. He was the second in receptions to CeeDee Lamb and yardage, which is crazy. It was their tight end.
He's had, I mean, this guy is 6'4", 4'6", 5'6", 7. Yeah,
over 4.5 is plus 100. What am I missing, Eric? Who's in the middle of the defense that's going to shut Ferguson down?
He has a lot of games where he had 4, so I guess that's why they made it 4.5. But I mean, we got some backup secondary in there. We got Quay Walker. I mean, I don't know how good
his touchdown. I mean, if for those anytime TD individuals who likes to do a parlay and pick 3 or 4, you want to throw that guy in there today. You know what I mean? If you want to do something that might spruce up your 20-leg parlay. You know what I'm saying?
And when our boy Cricket gets over here, they were doing a special episode of Morning Espresso this morning. It's running over because they got a bunch of people over there watching.
They got like 90,000 people watching right now. You know
Wow, that's awesome. I was watching earlier this morning.
Yeah, they're
Eric. Who's gonna be on CeeDee Lamb? And how has CeeDee Lamb reacted to elite corners this year? Or is he pretty much just good? Doesn't matter.
He smoked everybody.
You got to just accept that he's going to have his 9 catches and 100 yards. You just got to eliminate the 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
That's the key.
The
red zone defense.
He's got over, I think he's got over the yardage prop probably like 70% of the year. You know what I mean, dude? And some of these have been like over 106, over 90. The guy has just been phenomenal this year. he is one of those guys, like I said, nobody has said shit about how good of a wide receiver he is, and he's had better numbers. He finished with better numbers than Tyreek Hill. Right?
Yeah, in fact, so much he's crushed it, and I have talked more about, hey, is Brandon Cooks going to find the end zone today for an anytime TD? Not even thinking about CeeDee Lamb.
Yep,
and
he has 5 touchdowns. Brandon Cooks too, I think. But CeeDee Lamb is just every week. It's so automatic, guys.
Sometimes Cooks will be in the back corner of that end zone, just chilling.
Yeah,
a bull shark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of pros in this game think that Aaron Jones is going over.
I think he has to. He
Rushing
pretty
yards?
much
Mm-hmm.
since his rookie season, he's done well against Dallas. He basically won that one game for us. He had 2 or 3 touchdowns when he was waving at people and getting penalties.
Hey, we can get over 85 yards at plus 123, Eric. Is that?
Listen, Aaron Jones has to play well because this is his last game. Could be possibly his last game as a Packers, and he wants to get another contract. So, you know what I'm saying? He has to go balls out.
You can get 2 touchdowns plus 750. I saw that out there yesterday.
Probably stick to his receiving yards because I think because of that front line of Dallas, he might be on some bailout situations for Jordan Love. So I don't know. What's his receiving prop look like? 21 yards or something? I haven't looked at it.
I know Ari said she liked his under receiving yesterday, which concerned me a little. Now that I think about it, these 4 losses have all been emotionally damaging. You've had that one where Aaron Jones was waving at people and mocking them. You had the Jared Cook catch on the sideline and then the impossible field goal, the last second touchdown to Devontae Adams. They're going to be having a lot of flashbacks today.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not saying I'm taking the Aaron Jones prop, but I'm saying a lot of the pros in Vegas are for sure.
Hey man, your strategy works. Follow the money. It's the way things work in this world as well.
Follow the sports books. Yep. Yeah, play with a house. I mean, the casinos didn't just get built off of them losing money.
Yeah.
The sports books didn't get built just by them balancing the sides. I mean, oh my God. And some of the new sports books being built at like Durango and stuff, it's crazy. I want to go there and check it out. I can't wait.
It's wild.
I have to convince the wife to get back to Vegas because she completely outlawed me to go back. I did the mistake of taking her when we started dating before we even got engaged, and she kept it quiet until we popped the question and we got married. She goes, "You're never going back." I was like, "What do you mean?
What?"
Oh man, I should have never done that. So we haven't been back since then. It's like, oh man, I miss those days.
I love Vegas. Yeah. My grandpa lives out in Henderson. I like to, and he's awesome to go out and visit. He's got old school stories like your grandpa, Ari.
Oh, cool. I love
him
that.
and Don Laughlin are good friends. They built that town down there in Laughlin, Nevada.
Oh, I love Laughlin. It's such a beautiful little town out there.
He does a museum deal. He had his nickname down in Vegas is Montana Frank. And he's been down there since my great grandpa went down there and was building the Hoover Dam. And then he grew up in the mining in the dam camps down there. And then he just stayed in Vegas.
Wow.
True story. We got the Waldorf. We got a few gold mines and a bunch of silver mines down there that he won in the Texas Hold'em tournament while they were building the dam in Bullhead City. Anyway, I have some history down in Vegas too. When we get to know each other later, Ari, we'll talk. Or maybe someday we'll just all be out there. We can go tour around and see where our roots come from.
Oh, cool. I love that. That's so cool.
Yep. There's no area in this country where more interesting stories come from, I don't think.
Holy shit.
In that little
Eric.
corner.
Mm-hmm. For real, you can go down a rabbit hole. Oh gosh, so many good, just cool names from Old West all the way to mobster. I mean, and all in between.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I just learned the other day via documentary how James K. Polk took California. He basically sent John Fremont out there to start a revolution, and then all of a sudden they were like, "Oh, I guess California's ours." They made a flag, and we had the West. I'm like, "Oh, that's why Fremont Street." Yeah, you should name a street after that guy. That was quite a journey. Anyway, football. Should we move on to the?
Yeah, we could do without California.
Jump into the chat and see what all this.
Let's do that. I like that.
I'm building the sickest prop ever.
Oh,
and I'm starting it. I'm starting it with the Aaron Jones running Rushing
yards.
Yep. But now I've
Born
added
from
a
Canada.
Way up
How
there
cold
now.
is it up
Ooh.
there? What kind of
If
temps you got? They're in Celsius. I don't even speak Celsius. If you could convert it to Fahrenheit, that would be helpful.
Yeah, it's Celsius stands for C, right? Cold as ball. All right, you know what I mean? It's probably gonna be
Cold. Another
Very cold.
newsletter follower. Everybody has nothing but praises to sing about the newsletter.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much. And thank
That's
you
cool.
for joining. And if you haven't signed up already, make sure to go check out my free emails at arielcallista.com. Just add your name to the stay in touch box. And every day I'm putting out new information, the line movements, where the pro and the Joe money is, my analysis, and everyone's been learning so much from my newsletter. So that's all I could ask for, is for everyone to learn how to make better analysis for themselves and to keep winning and playing with the house just like I do.
Love it. Buku has a
Awesome.
hockey parlay in the Rumble chat.
What?
Rangers money line and Red Wings +1.5, +145.
I'm on it.
That's $14.50 for every $10 you wager right there. That's a good deal.
So what
It
do you
is
guys think about
reportedly-
this game, huh? The Packer Nation in the house, because this is yours. This is right here, your baby. What do you think? And you know what? Be biased first, but then actually be real from a
Oh, God damn
you know,
it.
are they from a professional standpoint, guys? You know what I mean?
Go ahead, Eric. You start.
Oh, the Dallas Green Bay game.
Yeah, I mean,
I think we win that game 28-24.
okay,
That's what I think.
legitimately.
And he's being legit right now.
Okay,
Yeah, he's
legitimately.
He's like, it's
the more I
over.
thought about it this week, the more I thought about all the pressure that's on Dallas. 16 straight home wins, averaging 37 points a game. If they go through the first quarter and they get like 3 points, they're going to start freaking out. That's when we pounce. That's when we hit them with the double reverse Jaden Reed pass to Jordan Love, and they're like, what's even happening? I don't think we can beat this team. And then Mike McCarthy's like, halfback ISO, and then they have to punt.
McCarthy can't lose, bro. He's got to get whacked at the end of the season.
He knows it's his job if he loses right now.
Dude's got to get whacked if he doesn't win today.
From threatening to have the 1 seed to eliminate it in the wild card round, you can't do that.
You know what
That's
happened this morning? This is what happened. Mike McCarthy woke up about 6:30 this morning. He had a cheese curd stuck like kind of right here, and a spotted cow spilt on his fucking lap, and he's pissed his pants. He's hung cheese curds over here on his bed, and he's like, "What just happened? And now he's getting that oh god, run pass, just run pass. It's over. It is over, Dallas Patriot 41-65. I love you. It's over. This is where your season ends. Welcome
This
to
is
having
where it ends.
Number one, that's just the Dallas way. It's just the way it goes with Dallas Cowboys. I mean, this is who you are as a franchise. And then you went and added the fucking biggest fucking without Aaron Rodgers, Mike McCarthy's never won a Super Bowl.
Or a play. Well, maybe a play.
Maybe it's not a playoff game. It's over.
Look, if there's a quarterback, right, that has that history, it's Dak. You know, I would, again, as a Giants fan, I would love for everything you guys are saying to come true. You know what I mean? Because it'll just give me joy being a miserable loser of not making the playoffs. It's.
Oh, I did Patriots score prediction 38-20 Cowboys, and he's probably really close, actually, if we're all being honest. But
that's the kind of game I would turn off in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. But that game hasn't happened yet, so I can still talk shit.
He sees a lot of Chuck confirms a lot of pro players betting the Packers all of a sudden. Yep.
Really?
Word is out. Word of Chris's vision is out.
That's because they're watching the show. They're watching the show. They're watching right now, man. You are flipping the fucking books, Chris. All right. Look at you. You're flipping the books, man.
You're flipping the books. It's true though. There are like 3 times as many pros betting the Packers today.
Why is that, Eric? Why would they do that, Eric?
They're smart people. They're probably they're probably at the facility or watching guys leave the hotel, and they're like, "Oh no, these guys already look defeated. They don't even have their pads on."
But trust me, none of the pros are betting under in this game.
Nobody.
No.
Hey, listen, this group right here,
Yeah.
this group right here, based on what everybody's saying, we could open up our own underground casino, man. I know a guy that can get slots machines, build them. My family had connects in New Jersey. All right, I know how that works. I can get the motherboards. Yo, we got our bookie over here in Ari. You guys can go out there, be the muscle. Hey, trust me, man.
Yep.
It won't work in Miami because there's too many of them already. But we could probably do it in Wisconsin somewhere. You know,
Rent
free
out an
booze,
office
chicken.
space, get a couple
Come in,
blackjack
baby.
dealers
Get a
going.
nice basement. Yeah, baby. You know, we could do this rounder style. I'm telling you, man. We could just make some fucking money, man.
Call it
You
the
can
Hunter's
rent an
Club.
office and just set up 20 blackjack tables and run that online.
I know a
Hunter's
guy.
Club.
I
Take
know a guy
years
with
to get
machines,
caught.
man. I know a guy with machines, baby. You know, and when we get busted, all you do is flip a button and Pac-Man comes out. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I'm telling you, man, it's
What do you mean? It's an arcade.
it is. It's an arcade joint, bro. It's an arcade joint. You know what I'm saying?
There's 2 games today, right?
Yep.
gives a
We also
fuck?
have the Los Angeles Rams going to Detroit, getting
game.
3 points.
The
This total's
NFC
even
North
higher.
is live today.
That's
boys
the
and
game,
girls.
baby. That's the game I think the whole country wants to see.
That's
that
exciting.
Rams and Lions game. It's as a fan, I playoff football is right there because that is the game of the week and a lot of good storylines, man. That's first and foremost. You know, you got the quarterbacks, a swap team. One won it, the other one didn't. You have it's crazy. Matthew Stafford coming back to Detroit, you know, to face him in a playoff game. It's wild,
Yep.
man. And that Rams team, I've been saying it all season long, especially towards the end, it scares the hell out of me if I'm an opponent in the NFC. Because if you look at everything, right, it's one of those things, and I keep saying this, you may not have it, but they give me the 2010 Giants vibes, right, where they were mediocre, and then they got healthy at the end of the season. They lost one game, but then they went back and played really, really well, but everybody got healthy. Cooper's healthy, finally, 100%. You got, the rookie Nakua. Kyron Williams came back from that injury like a house of fire. That defense with Aaron Donald, who's healthy as well, I think it's a huge factor. It's one of those things that I'm like, I don't know, man. I think the Cinderella story ends here for the Cinderella season ends here for for the Lions and Matt Campbell, man. As much as I like him, I think Laporta going down, it's huge.
I think LA has the better coach and the better quarterback and possibly the better defense.
I think
and
so.
Let
too.
me tell you, Puka and Cup are fucking good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Puka was like Cup wasn't. It's like he just filled that void.
Absolutely.
And now they're both out there. And let me tell you, Detroit does not have a pedigree of playoff football. This is
historically.
Historically, they just don't. And that matters some. If you're not used to play, your franchise isn't used to moving around in January, except for like putting pink slips on lockers. Like this
it's
is
almost like a
different kind of
rookie
football.
wall.
Yeah.
What the Rams need to do here is, again, you're going back to basics, right? Stafford cannot turn it over. Right, make the right timely throws when you need to. I think this game is going to go back and forth.
Hey, Kyron Williams is good, man.
He's nasty, bro. This dude is.
That's hard to beat that team. It's going to be hard to beat that.
Yeah, they could run the ball. They could pass the football.
And if you don't beat them this round, you might not. They might keep going.
They could surprise some people.
Yeah,
it's the same with Green Bay. You better exit them first, or don't let them hang around and get some.
That's the mistake they made with the Texans yesterday. You can't let those teams hang around, have a whole week to think, holy shit, are we good enough to win this thing?
If the Lions lose, more reason to get pissed off at the refs in that game against Dallas, because they would not be facing them if they would have won that game.
We both had a comment at the
go
exact
ahead.
same
Go
time.
ahead. You go ahead, Eric. Sorry about that.
Ari, what do you think about this from Chuck? Worst playoff game ever for pro play. No idea what anyone is doing in this game for real. Too many questions. The Lions are solid. But, I mean, it seems like these are two very evenly matched teams. And
yeah, I think that's actually a pretty good analysis. And he might have even been watching for my morning emails, my analysis throughout the week on this.
I bet he was.
I really haven't seen Vegas making any huge moves in this game because this is a combination of sharp and square money. The early line, it opened at -3.5. It's currently sitting at -3. There was level 3 money on the Rams, but that since kind of disappeared. I mean, the money's not there. Vegas isn't making any moves. And even on the total opened up early at 50.5. It's sitting at 51.5. 52 now. So there really hasn't been any big moves on Vegas's part or or the pro money. So I think this is going to be a great game to watch and enjoy, and this is going to be very entertaining. But I personally am not betting in this game. I'm just passing.
It's wild. I'm looking at it too right now, and it's all over the damn place. Most of the money is on the Rams, right? I think right now is most of the money on the Rams, Ari?
Ari,
Right
you just have one play today. Is that the over in the early game?
Yeah, plus the props.
Yep.
Prescott, Ferguson. Yeah. This game I'm not betting. I mean the money was significant earlier on the Rams, but since then it's lost significance, and Vegas, they're holding these lines tight. I mean, super tight. So they know they have good lines for these games, and they haven't budged them since, I mean, a little bit here and there, but not really enough for me to make a play since the opening.
Any movement is kind of just reactionary to what people are betting.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't see, there's too many X factors. There's too much emotion here. The two quarterbacks who were traded for each other, a team getting a home playoff game
How did the NFL fucking tie every storyline of the entire season into the wild card weekend?
It was really quite perfect.
I mean, you can't script it any better. If this was scripted, this is
Mike
insane.
McCarthy, Green Bay, the fucking
Tyreek Hill coming back to KC.
It's just over and over. Every game had it.
I mean, hey, listen,
DJ Stroud, Deshaun Watson, fucking all of it.
It's like the Texans right now. CJ Stroud has erased every single history that Deshaun Watson had for Texas in one season. That's it.
Can I tell you something? I got a little bit pissed about it because I was like, this is fucking rigged. And then I sat down and I thought, wait a minute, there's just that much parity in the NFL. Every game now in 2023, after however many seasons there's been in the NFL, we can all sit down and find some kind of, oh my God. Because once free agency took over the NFL, it really took over the NFL. Like it put its grips in it and it's never going away. And now there's a lot of rivals, things moving around, a lot of moving parts where as before, maybe when we were the three dudes here were growing up, not Ari's not in that because you're a little bit younger. But we grew up before. We grew up when guys got drafted by a team, they retired from that team a lot.
So we were hanging out with your dad and mom, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. When they were little in high school, like in the 90s, you know what I'm saying? That's what he meant. Watching this stuff.
In the 1900s, back in the 1900s.
In the 90s, 1990s, not the 2090s, all right? I mean, that's what it was.
Or the turn of the century.
Yeah, when your boy was rocking his Timberlands and his fucking baggy pants.
Yeah. More public money going to the Rams, but Vegas is holding. They need to see pro money. It is not here. I don't know if we're going to see anybody do anything definitive. I think you'll see a lot of live bets on that Detroit.
Chuck, do you ever go see Derek over at Circa?
Great question.
I hear he's there quite a bit.
Who, Eric?
Yeah. No, Derek Stevens, a man of the people.
Derek Stevens, the man at the Circa.
Yeah.
Yep. Real estate developer, casino owner extraordinaire.
Good
story.
Legit dude.
Yeah, Rashee Rice had a hell of a game last night.
Oh.
Boy, unless you guessed Rashee Rice, you guessed the wrong. I picked up Justin Watson and one other dude. I already forgot his name and picked the wrong ones. Turns out it's Rashee Rice.
How's any props on this one, Ari, that you like?
No, I don't like any props.
Nothing at all.
Game.
Wow.
Yeah, I like to cherry pick. So
okay.
I mean, that's how I keep my ROIs high. But I mean, honestly, like playing 20 props in 2 games is like I don't really do that.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's DJ and Army shit right there. I've got about 60, but whatever. Who's counting?
I definitely am more of a cherry picker. I'll play a few props here, a few props there, but if the game's just not showing me anything that I think is going to be super significant, then I probably will just bet on the next game.
There we go.
Makes sense. Wow, you can
But
get.
I think the Rams are definitely taking this one, boys, just from a fan perspective. I think the Rams are going to shock the Lions. It's just my gut feeling.
Yeah, when it gets down to second half, fourth quarter, that's when the coaching expertise and the veteran leadership of Matthew Stafford is going to come in handy.
I mean, yeah, they check all the boxes. And look, Sam Laporta getting hurt, that's a huge hit because that's 10 touchdowns, almost 1,000 yards you can't replace. Another, 80 receptions or 70, whatever the record was that he just broke for tight end rookies. That's huge. You can't replace that. And unless Jameson Williams, revert back to his college days, that's where I see the Rams having the edge.
And he was fully healthy when he caught that record-breaking touchdown that sealed the receptions, the yards, touchdowns, everything. Take him out right there.
Take him out, man. He got both in one spot, man. Touchdown and yardage and receptions, pretty much within the first quarter.
Laporta getting hurt probably cost Dan Campbell Coach of the Year, and it should. That was really dumb.
He wasn't going to win it, bro. It was going to be D'Amico Ryan all the way. I think that's...
Yep. I think beating the shit out of Kevin Stefanski, even though it's not supposed to count, it's supposed to be a regular season award. There's no way that voters won't take that into consideration.
D'Amico Ryan's lined up against Joe Flacco in his career. They're the same age. So that tells you how this NFL is crazy, dude. They both played at the same time in their careers.
I prefer my pompous people with feathers in their hats. Yeah. Then they're easy to identify, or if they got the pinky out, something. Give us a red flag.
With the ring. Well, no, I got a pinky ring.
And then we got the moved game, the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Buffalo Bills. Holy shit, this is 10. Bills minus 10.
That's
Total
high, isn't it?
38. 10 points in a playoff game? I mean, the Steelers are clearly the worst team in the playoffs, but they are a playoff team. But you have heard of me, basically.
But and the weather is still not going to be great. I mean, it's not going to be as bad as it is today, but it's still going to be cold as shit, windy.
You're still going to have 25-mile-per-hour winds.
Yeah. So it's even Josh Allen, who has a freaking gun for an arm, it's going to have a hard time throwing in that. Yeah, he's going to throw a lot better than Mason Rudolph. Don't get me wrong, but I see this game of just like last night, a lot of running, and just more defense. I think it actually tailors a little bit better to the Steelers because of the lack of offensive passing, air attack. You know what I'm saying? And I think with having Warren and I can't remember the other guy's name now, the starting running back. What's his name?
Oh, Najee.
Those two guys, I think, are going to get fucking 30 or over 30 carries combined.
Yeah, I think they're going to 1-2 punch those guys.
So it's going to be a lot of
They know they have to control clock and basically catch a lucky break to win this game. But if you eliminate the deep balls to Gabe Davis and Khalil Shakir and all that wild card shit, they have a chance, to stay within 10. I don't know. What do you think, Ari? Is 10 a lot?
For this time
yeah, it is. And I don't really have a play on either the Steelers or the Buffalo.
I love that you say Steelers.
Steelers. Sorry, it's a cannabis.
That's amazing.
Got a little high real quick. Really,
I wish I could.
I'll put this down for a second.
No, keep going.
It opened with the Bills at minus 8.5, and then officially at minus 9.5. And sharp money was pushing it, but it disappeared. The total opened at 43 early, and it got pushed down to 40.5. Mm-hmm. So I caught it at 36.5. The under is still looking good in this game, but now it's sitting at 37.5. Mm-hmm. So I still like the under, but I don't have a play on the spread.
I think if I were to play this on the spread, I'd probably take the plus money because I don't think it's going to be a 10-point win three. I know it's probably might be but that's what they want you to do most likely. That's what Vegas probably wants you to do. Go pick the Steelers plus money. Based on the way they're moving this line up and down. But I don't know, man. It's a lot, and I think this game's just going to be ugly. It's going to be a lot of.
I look at this prop for every game, and I've never seen both teams score 19.5. The yes is plus 550. No is minus 1,000.
Wow.
So, yeah, ugly thing that passes for a playoff game. It's going to be right after you get out of work tomorrow. They're going to play it. You might get home in time to see it. I'm not sure. West Coast people are freaking out because that's like 2:30 West Coast time, isn't it?
Something like that.
Maybe 1:30. I'm not sure.
I'm off from work
What time is
tomorrow.
that?
I've never been good at time zones. It's 4:30 Central, so that would be 5:30 Eastern. So that'd be 2:30 Pacific, I believe.
Yeah,
Welcome to Time
2:30.
Zone Talk.
I do have a few props I like in this game. I still like Rudolph under 28.5 passing attempts. Josh Allen under 33.5 passing completions. And Harris over 16.5 rushing attempts.
Yeah. Love. I'm going to look at Najee's game logs, but 17 carries seems like an automatic. How would you go into this game without the strategy of we're going to give it to Najee? And you get plus 102 over 16.5 carries. That's good stuff right there. I think passing unders.
I like the passing
overs.
because I think it's going to be a run heavy game, and the fact that Buffalo can actually because people forget that Josh Allen can have 70. Has how many games have he had? 10 attempts, 70 yards. He's the other running.
Yeah, and they've won those games.
Exactly. And there's going to be a lot of time where he won't be able to find anybody, but they're going to open up and boom, he's going to take off. Remember, there's no TJ Watts there harassing him, even though they still have a great defense. The Steelers do, but I think it's going to be one of those games that's going to be slow. Josh Allen is not going to want to make any mistakes, so he's not going to try to force anything with, as windy as it is. So, what about you? You don't like anything on James Cook, Ari?
Yeah, I don't have really an opinion there.
Yeah.
Windy, maybe some short receptions. I wonder what his receptions are. Chuck says South Point, the only honest casino here. They voided the bets the day they changed it. I suppose that's a big thing. Some places are honoring bets that you made yesterday before they moved it, and some places are avoiding them.
Yeah.
All right, what's your Harris bet? What's your Najee bet?
Oh, yeah, over 16.5 rushing attempts.
Attempts. Got you. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm trying to find him and put him in. Sorry.
I respect when casinos and sports books just void the bets because everything changed so much when they moved the game. All the lines changed, especially the total.
Yeah, you can make the bet again if you really like it. James Cook over 2.5 receptions, plus 100. Why do they want me to take that?
Yeah, that's what they want you to do. If they were playing in Miami, you can take that because it's going to be an air attack from both sides.
Oh, wow. James Cook catches 2-3 balls on the regular basis.
No, he does. It's funny. Their 5-game winning streak really got going when James Cook started getting involved more and more. Not just
they changed coordinators and they said, let's involve the running back. Let's allow Josh Allen to run again. Because you would see early in the season, he'd have a first down in front of him and he would stop and throw it incomplete. It's like, dude, you can get that. We've seen you get those your whole career. Why are you not? And it had to be somebody was telling him not to.
And James Cook is that type of back, right? James Cook is that back. He could catch it and he could run it, right? And if you notice the first 8 or 9 games, they were I don't know, they were restricting his kind of skills. I think that's a big reason as well. And that also having James Cook started catching more footballs, reduce the amount of interceptions for Josh Allen late in the year. That's why they rattled off 5 freaking games out there to end the season and steal the AFC East from Miami, who went the other way.
Najee even muddy. What about Cook and Kincaid? Kincaid's receiving yards are relatively low. In the 30s, I believe. Wait, that's receptions, receiving yards. Dalton Kincaid, is he listed? Do these there? I think he 35.5.
He should be playing. He's back.
He's become more and more of a part of the offense. Diggs 65.5. Diggs has had a real rough ending to the season. He was averaging 4 fantasy points a game or something. I heard the fantasy bros talking about. He can't be happy about that. Some bets at under 32.5 at MGM are standing. Now it's up to 38. That's shady business, isn't it, Ari?
Yeah, I think they should have just voided everyone's bets and then let them rebet.
That's true.
Yeah, you're pulling cricket's weight. That's all.
Yeah.
We gotta
Usually
have the
we're all
total on
smoking
aggregate.
together.
I'm with you.
I love it. You brought out the pipe. I mean, I just think that cannabis, I mean, it just kind of enhances everything. It makes you feel good. Plus, it's healthy for you
And it's
in a lot of
natural, baby.
ways.
Nature.
Yeah. Hmm.
Exactly. And
Plus, all your kids stay alive, and there's a happy family. So, yay.
yeah, a lot of benefits.
A lot of benefits. It's like this thing.
Yeah.
It's basically for me the same as our boy Elio with the scotch and a cigar.
Yeah,
Same effect.
exactly. Similar practice.
Relax.
It does. It smooth you out. You know, when I do a stogie and I either pour scotch or wine, even or or any other type of brandy or even with a beer, man. It's just that relaxing feeling, bro. You know what I mean? So hey, and cigars are natural as well, bro. It's not like cigarettes. You actually got to roll those bad boys in there. What the hell you doing? I mean, my grandfather grew up on the fields in Cuba, just picking cigars, man. And that's what I saw as a little kid when I lived there. It's practically him every day at the dinner table, rolling one up. He didn't have any weed in it, but he was rolling it up like he had. You know what I mean? And it was like, automatic. He's out there in the front porch smoking it and falling asleep right afterwards. So,
not a bad way to live.
Yeah, exactly. Until he was like 87, so it's not bad.
Yeah, it doesn't stop our.
It doesn't stop us from winning.
No.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people use cannabis excessively, but I feel like I use it in moderation to just relax, but also like still make my plays effectively, do my analysis, run
right
the numbers.
In that Goldilocks zone, just right. Because you got to be able to think outside the box. You got to be able to get on the right frequency to even be able to see the future.
Exactly.
So
I mean,
life is all about balance.
Exactly.
Yeah, hey.
It's like I used to tell my dad and my uncles before I went in the woods deer hunting. If you're not on Mother Nature's frequency, you're not even going to see the deer. Okay? So there is a right amount.
Yeah, I wish I could relate to that, man. Because I've never been deer hunting before. I don't think I've never done any hunting, put it that way.
It's cold.
It's like I would be the guy that I'm behind the like, dude, where's the fucking scotch or the vodka? I am freezing my nuts off here. Let me get something to warm up. You know what I mean? It's like
first thing we do is we do not promote getting stoned and going hunting with firearms.
No, we don't.
That's what we do.
I love the deer that live in my backyard.
Responsible.
You probably are like Snow White, aren't you?
Yeah, they just they land on your birds are landing on your shoulder.
Well, I have like these squirrels that come up and like I know who they are.
Put my coat on for me.
I know who all the squirrels are. Like they all have names and the deer, the family of the 9 deer, all just walk through.
Okay. What did you name the squirrels?
I'll get into that later.
I used to do the same thing when I lived in New York. The only difference, there were rats. There was no deers or any. When I was in Brooklyn, it was rats. I knew which rat would come in and out of the apartment. When I go out in the front, house to take the train. You get familiar with your surrounding animals. Mine, they were just ugly ass rats.
You guys need to collaborate on a cigar. That's a great idea.
That's not a bad idea. Cigar, cannabis one.
That's a
you know how many people probably because a lot of cigar smokers do weed as well. It's like. I
actually sold a hair and beard product for my company. It was one of my cannabis products. It was called 3 Sins, and it had tobacco. It was like a nice tobacco scent, a bourbon scent, and cannabis all mixed together to make like a really nice beard oil for men. And it had CBD in it, so like it was helping your hair grow, and everyone loved it. It was one of the most the best-selling product. 3 Sins.
We need to go get that, guys. It's gonna help hair growth. All right, we all three of us need it, bro. You know what I mean? It's like
I do have some issues in that department.
Oh man.
Well, I also sitting in a sauna, like a far infrared sauna. I've seen so many guys like regrow their hair just doing that. So cannabis and far infrared, they just work perfectly together for keeping you healthy, regrowing your hair, all that fun stuff.
I'm sold.
Everyone loved the 3 Sins, the cannabis, tobacco, and bourbon all together.
That's a great scent, actually. Tobacco and bourbon. It's great.
You're a marketing genius is what you are.
I'll send you guys some bottles.
Hey,
Hell yeah.
we'll try it out.
Now Joe's naming seagulls. Too many to name out there harassing
What do we got?
you.
Philadelphia and Tampa Bay.
Yep, we're done with the snowball. Eagles at Buccaneers. Eagles -3. Total is 43 even. This is another one where I like the underdog. I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers win this game. I saw a picture of Baker dropping back in the pocket at practice with a can of dip in his pocket. He's feeling loose. Mike Evans, possibly his last game as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. He might have 300 yards. A.J. Brown not playing. All kinds of strife going on inside the Philadelphia Eagles organization. Do they all hate each other? I don't know.
Did the coach? Is that some bad coaching decision?
Bro, typical.
Now firing the coach is on the table, they say. Yeah, it's a mess.
I mean, they went from having like the best season last year, getting to the Super Bowl, leading everything, to all of a sudden self-destructing. It's on one of those biggest flips. But in regards to Baker, I think he was questionable. He had a questionable tag yesterday, so I think it's a game time decision. If I'm not,
he's got a rib thing. That takes weeks. If you've ever had a rib injury, I fell a couple of years ago. I fell on the ice, and my arm went out, and I did the Charlie Brown like horizontal, and my ribs hurt for a month and a half. So just anecdotally, I think any kind of tear or crack you got going on isn't going to be better in 2 weeks, even if you have all the best.
No. And he's a tough dude, bro. I mean, you saw him play last week. He was limping. He couldn't do anything. He didn't throw for a touchdown, but man, you still saw him take off and run for like some first downs and stuff like that. I mean, Baker has had one of the biggest flips of any NFL quarterback. He had the high #1 pick, which he didn't deserve, by the way. Then he got Cleveland to the playoffs. Then all of a sudden spiraled down, different teams, win a job back. And then all of a sudden this year now, taking a team that had Tom Brady, who won a Super Bowl, another storyline. Here we go. And he's on a redemption tour, pouring everybody that somebody's going to pay me next year, and taking this team to the playoffs. And if they beat the Eagles, he's going to get a Geno Smith, better contract probably than Geno Smith kind of deal after the season. But it's crazy. It's another storyline.
He's a workaholic. He let it go to his head for a minute, which any kid probably does, getting picked first. He wasn't a first round pick.
No,
I mean, shouldn't have been the first overall.
No, not the first overall.
And that he was Cleveland is a bad place to be for a rookie.
Yeah,
never been good historically.
They're not going to set you up for success down there.
Cleveland fucked this kid up because they still allowed him to play while he was hurt. All right, he still went out there. I mean, he's his own worst enemy. He's a gamer, right? He's a gamer. He's a chip on his shoulder kind of guy. And again, they messed up because trust me, what happened yesterday and the contract they have with Deshaun Watson, I think they wish they would still have Baker Mayfield because he would not be on that stupid ass contract that Watson has, and probably would have made the playoffs as well.
The last two quarterbacks I remember in fucking Cleveland is Bernie Kosar and Joe Flacco.
Yeah. Bernie Kosar was probably the last consistent quarterback they had that was any good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They draft quarterbacks the way that the fucking Patriots draft receivers, and they're bad at it.
They just can't.
But the quarterback is very fucking. You can't fix that. If you draft it, you can't. You there's no fixing that. If you fuck up a 6th round wide receiver, you can fix that. You can hide that.
With quarterbacks is very, very. There's one simple pretty much formula, right? You either hit or you don't. You're either gonna have a guy for 2 years or 3, or you're gonna have a guy for 15. And a guy 15 doesn't necessarily has to be Peyton Manning or Tom Brady. It could be a good quarterback, Phillip Rivers, right? It could be Eli Manning, right? These guys that are gonna keep you competitive. That's what you want from a quarterback.
Eli Manning won 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah. But think about it. Eli Manning's numbers don't jump off the page from anybody.
No, neither does his face or his
exactly.
name.
Well, his face looks the same
because of his brother and his dad.
Exactly. But think about it. But he's a quarterback that gave you 15 seasons. You went to the playoffs more than you didn't.
Absolutely. You need a guy in that spot where every time the draft comes up, that doesn't even have to be on your board. Then that's when you're winning. That's when you're winning at football. Unless the CJ Stroud, that kid is a phenom, though. That's not normal. He's accelerating. the higher the stakes get, he's coming out slinging harder, and he flicks it. That yesterday was the first game that I really sat down and watched start to finish. CJ Stroud, wow, they got
There's
it. They have a gem.
one throw, right, that tells you what that kid is all about. And I've called him because he's like, I'm a big fan of prototypical tall guys, stand in the pocket. They could get out the way, right? And lets it go. CJ Stroud is not a running quarterback. Let's get that out of the way. All these quarterbacks nowadays move. They all scramble. They'll move in the pocket really well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you have to.
They're fucking animals.
Exactly. That one pass in the first quarter to Nico Collins, while he got decked, that tells you everything about CJ Stroud. It was all a flick of the wrist, and he threw 40 yards.
That's what I'm saying. That dude is powerful. With that arm.
He is built different.
It looks different than John Elway.
Mm-hmm.
When John Elway rocket fired, it looked different than Stroud doing it. But it's still getting done.
Yeah, dude, it's awesome. He can make every throw, has all the arm strength, and dude knows what the hell he's doing in the pocket, bro. He knows how to quick reads. Smart guy. I mean, shit, man. Houston got themselves lucky.
Yep. And when I took him for offensive rookie of the year, I just looked at it simply as we have a big, tall, athletic kid who looks like he can throw like an NFL quarterback, and we have this kid who's like 5'11". Yeah. I mean, I don't see how that can work.
Yeah, Bryce Young can still work in this league, but you have to do what you did with Tua, right? Get an offensive line, get him some fast receivers, right? Guys that can make the quick cuts, because the guy has an accurate ball. But dude, I'm not a fan of that. If I'm a GM, I am always drafting what has worked for 100 years, right? For the guys that keep winning the Super Bowl over, the quarterbacks that keep taking these guys winning to the Super Bowl over and over again. Brady, Manning. All right, you got Big Ben, all right? Give me 6'2", 6'3" quarterbacks that can do. That could just stand there, make all the reads, get away, and throw the football. That's me. Patrick Mahomes is over 6 feet. He knows how to make the reads, knows how to make all the throws. He'll run when he needs to. That's it.
There's only a few Doug Flutys and Drew Breeses. Stop trying to be a fucking hero.
Dude,
and reach
there's only been two. There's only been two. Nobody else has won it. So
yeah. You might accidentally draft a Jay Cutler or a Brock Osweiler, but that happens.
I mean, shit happens, bro. You know what I mean? You can't get them all right.
Do your fucking homework. Look at the Packers.
Yeah. That's a great formula. You had three quarterbacks right now.
And credit to them for it. They signed him to a little prove-it deal, put themselves and the player in a good position. We're set up well.
And real quick, I am a big believer in not sticking those rookies out their rookie season. I know it works with CJ, but it works more often than not. It doesn't work
unless you have to. That's the only time I would do it too, as well.
And normally, it seems like everybody's always under the gun to do it. The Packers have not done that.
No,
yep.
They didn't do it for Brett Favre either, right? Brett Favre didn't
or
start
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, no, I know Aaron was 4 years, and I know Brett also sat for a few years, not 4.
Yeah, he only got in because of injury.
Yeah, it was a few years, so it
was an accident why he got in.
Yeah.
And then, and Love sat. So it's not a bad formula.
No, it's not.
Nope.
You just have to have the right culture. Anyways, sorry to
you got it.
What do you think
here? You got to be able to provide
uh,
yourself enough time to do it. You got to be able to stay relevant while you're developing it.
This game is interesting, man. If Baker's healthy, I like Baker as well in the Bucks. It's one of my upsets today. What do you think, Ari?
I like Baker. I like Baker Mayfield under 32.5 passing attempts.
Oh,
no. Hey, listen, he doesn't sling it a lot of times. That's his game. He's more of an efficiency kind of guy. Run the football, and so that makes a lot of sense. I was going to ask you like the over under on the attempts.
There you go.
And he's banged up too, man. He's banged up. Trust me, he's not going to be doing it a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
He can exit this game at any point.
And Antonio Brown was declared out of the game. So, but that didn't really even affect anything when it came to the lines or what Vegas is doing. In this game, the sides are dead. So I'm passing on this. The total is catching a lot of under money. It opened up at 44.5 and it was at 43 with level 5 money. Now it's at level 4 money. But Las Vegas, they're not joining the party. I mean, they're not opposing the money, but, they're looking more to balance it. The power players are looking at the under, though, the pros.
Let me see here.
And with the winds and the chance of a thunderstorm, you just never know. The under might be a good play in this game.
Definitely stay away from the line. You don't like anything +3, -3, and any of this one here.
Yeah, it opened up at -2.5. It's sitting at -3. Vegas isn't reacting. The sharp and the square money's all over the place.
Yeah, the unders are fire.
It's like an ugly version of the Rams and Lions. We're just not sure what the hell.
This is the opposite. We know there's gonna be some points in the Rams and Lions, right? We know it's gonna be back and forth action. This one, you're like, okay, no AJ Brown, Devontae Smith is still hurt. What's his name? Jalen Hurts has a fucked up finger. All right, we don't know.
Yeah,
that's right.
The guy's like this. You know what I mean, Doral? The guy's like this. He shit's like this. So he's got to be probably on some type of protective cast. I know it's his offhand. I don't think it's his throwing hand. But regardless of the fact, what do you think these linemen and the linemen for the Bucs are going to do? Every time they got to get to Jalen, this is going to happen. They got to go after the hand over and over again. And look, their linemen are not Pro Bowlers per se, but they had really good individuals that get to the quarterback, that front line of the Buccaneers. So it's an ugly game, man. A lot of injuries, a lot of turmoil for the Eagles. You know, that's what I'm saying. If Baker is healthy enough, where he could hit Evans a couple times and Godwin and run the football with White, who runs very, very angry, they could hold this game. It's going to be low scoring, and then they could upset 19-17, that kind of crap. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they've scored like 9 points over their last 2 games.
It's something nuts. I mean, listen, my Giants annihilated the Eagles last week. Okay, that tells you everything you need to know about how bad.
What is happening in that locker room, Elio? What is it?
And they were trying to win that game.
They were so good. They were going to be so good. This was their year.
I mean, dude, they retooled after cleaning house last year. I don't know, man. I mean, sometimes the culture just doesn't hit back-to-back years. I mean, you got to understand. I mean, you got a lot of big personalities, bro. Remember, AJ Brown is your typical prima donna wide receiver. He was at the Titans. He's here now. We had the same
I thought he was a quiet workhorse.
He's not a quiet workhorse. He's always been a prima donna. Remember the beginning of the year, bitching because he wasn't getting the ball, and then all of a sudden he started getting the ball. Right? It's the trend.
But I mean, in Tennessee.
Yeah.
You didn't hear from him in Tennessee.
No, but he was also a big. Well, you didn't hear publicly because it's Tennessee, dude. They're not national team, right? It's Philadelphia, all right. Philadelphia is one of the bigger sports markets, like New York, Dallas. That's what happened. News get out there a lot more open than they do in Tennessee. Tennessee, he has a cabin somewhere in the mountains, and he's chilling, and then he goes back.
And he's the man.
Yeah, exactly. But I think it's what you got. I mean, Devontae Smith is not 100% either. So it sucks, bro. It's a bad time to be injured.
That's where you live, right, Ari? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm out here in Philly right now.
Yeah. You're outside of Philly, though, right? Because I know there's no deers in Philadelphia. I mean,
yeah, in the suburbs.
I've been to Philly a couple of times when I lived in New York, and I was this past year too. So great cheesesteaks, by the way.
Yeah, not a lot of deer downtown. That's for sure.
That's
no.
They said he melted down in the locker room.
Much.
Who? AJ?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. He's again typical prima donna, man. These wide receivers nowadays, bro, they're not like the Jerry Rice of the world. They're all about me. Give me the targets. A lot of Keyshawn, throw me the damn ball kind of crap. You know what I mean, dude? They're built different nowadays, man. This whole thing, they got to have the fame. Remember, it's a lot of things are tied down to their success in the field, right? Endorsements, social media, all that kind of shit. So
he had a bit of a point, but he was going about it the wrong way. It's like we have this deep threat in myself, but we keep throwing these shallow slants and shit on 3rd and 12. Like, what are we doing?
Craig, I don't know where you're at.
Philly.
I don't know where you're at, Craig, at 17 degrees Fahrenheit. Where it's -7 here.
He's in Canada somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, Canada.
They got a heat wave up there, I guess.
What, 17? If it's 17, that's shorts weather over there.
Native land.
Just northern Canada.
Just north in Canada. Oh yeah.
That's crazy. Canada looks so cold.
It is fucking cold. It's freezing.
It is fucking cold. Yeah. Yeah, it's the frozen north. Oh, by Detroit. Good walleye fishing up there. Yeah. Tell you what.
I'm telling you, dude, I haven't experienced cold like that in almost 20 years now. And even last year, Ari, I visited Philly. We had a thing to do with my daughter and stuff. And it was that week in January, it actually hit the 50 out of the 3 days that we were there, and then the 40s. and it was like 37 one day and raining, and I kept telling my wife, "You see this shit? This is the reason why I left. All right, when it rains like this, it's like this for 6 freaking months, man. All right, you don't see the sun, and when you see the sun, it's cold." And I'm giving her all the whole scenario because my wife is a native Floridian, and she was like, "Oh, I love the change of the seasons." I'm like, "That shit lasts for like 3 weeks. That's it. Then the leaves fall, and they never come back until like April. That's done. All right,
Yeah,
forget about that."
until fucking May.
Yeah, and then I'm like, but the snow looks so great. I lived in the city, right? The snow looks like mud after it hit the ground, and everybody's driving all over it, bro. So it's like dark mud. All right, it's I tell people slushy. It sucks. I don't, go live it if you want to, but my ass is never going back anywhere that's cold.
Yeah. City snow's different than the nice fluffy snow.
Yeah.
A Brooklyn guy with a thing to do in Philly could be anything.
Yeah. That's true.
And that is the
all right
of our NFL slate.
That's it.
That's all they give us is 4 games.
Yeah, man.
That's all we've been allotted.
We should have had 3 today, but
we should have had 3 today. Yeah, now we
got to wait all the way to 3:30, Ari.
Yeah.
How are you pre-gaming today? What's on the agenda? What's Ari do?
What does Ari do? I'm probably just going to be like getting some work done today. Pre-gaming a little bit later. Yeah.
I'm going to go upstairs and probably make breakfast for the estrogen half of my house, which is my 2 daughters and my wife.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice. What you
That's
cooking?
the move. That
ham
buys
steak,
you all
probably,
kinds of
and eggs. Ham steak, eggs.
There you go.
I think is going to be on the agenda. Little meat, little eggs.
I'm going to go probably eggs and toast.
Bitch, and
my daughter
phone just went off.
My daughter doesn't want salt or pepper on her eggs. I'm starting to. She's always been like that. It still hasn't changed. I'm starting to get concerned.
That's all right.
We got to keep an eye on that one.
Right on.
She's not adventurous. All right. Well, Ari, let's go over your favorite props today before we get out of here. I'm going to get the pen and the Post-it note. I got bills to pay too.
Okay.
Let's get down to the actual winners.
Let's go 3 for 4 like we did yesterday, except better. We're going to go for actually I have 6 props today, so we're going to go 6 for 6.
Ooh. Okay.
Dirk Prescott over 1.5 touchdowns, and Jake Ferguson over 4.5 receptions. Then I like Mason Rudolph under 28.5 passing attempts, Josh Allen under 33.5 passing completions, and Harris over 16.5 rushing attempts. I also like Mayfield under 32.5 passing attempts.
Beautiful.
So, a lot of unders today. Playing the unders again, but
not mad about that.
No.
Yeah, the unders often hit.
They cash.
Except for last night with Mahomes, but I should have known. You can't bet against Mahomes
I did the same thing.
God damn it!
I know, man. I did the same thing. I took the under on the passing attempts.
And then he ran for 297 million yards and fuck. He didn't
somebody get Patrick.
He does what he does.
That dude is
time
amazing,
to do
bro.
it.
Yeah, does whatever needs to be done at the time.
And the walrus just sits over there with snow in his beard, just like
that dude is built different, man. I mean, he is the best quarterback in the league. He's the next. So he took over the mantle, and the baton was passed to him. The Tom Brady likeness.
He's a prototypical.
Yeah, he's a stand up.
This generation, the Peyton Manning of this generation.
Yep.
It looks different. It's not the same.
But he's doing the same thing.
The defensive ends are different now.
Yep.
They come. They're faster, stronger. They hit harder.
Yep.
You got to get the fuck away from them.
That's the problem.
They used to have that.
The modern day pass rusher is made in a lab, and they're still growing the linemen in cornfields.
And here's the thing:
the O linemen, but some of these D linemen are starting to pop out of labs too, like Aaron Donald. That's not normal.
That shouldn't exist. That's like a bumblebee. That shouldn't be able to fly.
Jesus and Mahomes not a running quarterback. He runs when he needs to. That's what people don't understand. But he could get it. He could get that 10 yards. He has such good quickness.
And
he's not fast. He's quick.
The sack. He can get out of the sack.
I never seen anybody shuffle their feet and like do an ole. That's what I call it when a lineman is going at them and you miss him. Do an ole, turn around, and then just sidearm it to the to Kelsey 15 yards, right? Like it's most quarterbacks do a dump down if they get away from the lineman or throw it away. This guy, what most quarterbacks would throw away after getting away from a sack, he's actually making a 15, 20-yard completion. Beautiful.
Always calculating.
Beautiful.
That's what scared me about Stroud yesterday was he did a little dipsy-do flipperoo and then flicked the wrist
Did you see
30
that?
yards down the field. I said, oh, shit, we've seen that before.
Yep. And he does it different.
I was like, that looks like Super Bowls.
Put it this way. He does it different, right? Mahomes had the arm angles and stuff like that. CJ does the same thing with the same distance, but the old-fashioned way. He over the top. Boom. I mean, it's just, again, they do the same thing different ways.
Effortless.
I mean,
Both of them make it look effortless. Like any one of us four could be out there doing that. They just make it look like, that looks easy. Like they're playing nerf. And the rest.
And they had a couple bad drops yesterday.
Yeah,
he could have had much bigger numbers if Schultz catches that deep touchdown.
What the fuck?
I
threw my pin. I'm like, Schultz, you have to catch that in the NFL at Wild Card Week. It's January, motherfucker. Figure this out. God bless. Leave that rookie out to dry. That was perfectly thrown. He's impressive. I'll stop. Because today we're going to watch another impressive rookie, and you guys can just eat your heart out because we got him for 17 more years.
Joe, tell the people, Elio, tell the people where they can find you.
First of all, the best way is hit me up in Twitter. Follow me at Average Joe Sports Talk at Joe's_talk. Hit the link tree in the bio, and just to be able to join any platform you want, whether it's audio, video, YouTube, Rumble. Find me on TikTok even. And go ahead and check me out. And all my live episodes go audio too. So if you like just listen to my voice, go ahead, man. Go ahead and follow me on TikTok is the fastest way. On Twitter is the fastest way.
Sports, cigars, current events, nothing they don't cover. Ari, tell them about the newsletter.
Absolutely. You could head to my website, arielcalista.com, and sign up for my free daily newsletter, which covers not just the NFL, but also the NBA, college ball. We're going to be talking about a little bit of hockey, a little bit of Major League Baseball when that comes up, and really get in depth with all the line movements, how Las Vegas is playing, whether they're taking a stand on a game or if they're taking a stand against the squares, where the pro money is going, where the square money is going. And so learn so you could bet like a pro and bet with the sports books like I do. I have a 40+% ROI in the NFL right now, and it's been getting better every day. And my strategy is betting with the books. So sign up for my free daily email in the Stay in Touch box in arielcalista.com. Plus, it has a picture of me every day, so that's fun too. Also, find me on TikTok at Ariel Callista. I post all of my plays before the game, so you could keep up with me and see me in action. I like to keep myself accountable, so I show you every day, like the plays that are winning. And of course, every once in a while, I have losing plays too, but the winners happen a lot more than the losers, and that's how I have such a high ROI across multiple leagues. And right now it's the top in Las Vegas. So make sure to follow me on TikTok and see all of my plays live before the games and join me there and sign up for my free email.
I think if I wasn't watching it happen, I wouldn't even believe it. That's how good the numbers are.
There's not a Fortune 500 company that has better margins than Ariel's bets. Okay.
That's true. It's true. I don't know. Hedge funds would be dreaming of my ROIs.
I'm telling you, man, I've managed plenty of companies and I've gotten plenty of bonuses at 25% margins. And that's actually really, really good. Ariel is like, I have 40% ROI. Hey, that's how we do it, man. There's nothing in this world that has a 40% return on investment. All right. Not equipment, not people, not products, not whatever the hell it is. It's
right. And I try to explain to everyone, like, this isn't the same as win percentage.
No,
I'm not winning 40% of my bets. I'm getting the return on investment of 40%.
Exactly. Like Chuck says, 20% is pro level for sure. Make sure you subscribe right here. That is $0. And we'll be right back here next week with all kinds of valuable information from Ari and others. Till then, Best of luck with your wagers and all of your goings on, your pregame activities. Chris, kick the outro music.